This is a podcast Fauci doesn't want you to hear.
Welcome back to Show Me Yours podcast with Jackie and Johnny. I'm Jackie Agnew.
I'm Johnny DeVito.
And thank you so much for joining us for our first episode in our new location. We're still figuring out the look a bit, the angles, but this is where we're going to be for the next little while.
Yeah, for the foreseeable future, right? I think until the till the forces that be probably take over the free world.
Yeah.
Or some kind of alien civilization kind of comes down to show us, where probably either destroy, or maybe hopefully foster a new generation of love and peace.
Yeah. Cool. Or if we get some more lovely followers and subscribers such as yourself who want to help us out a little bit.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Get us a fresh studio. But yeah, this is home base, and we are joined today by a fantastic guest, a great friend of ours, Lou Albani. That's how you say it.
Albany.
Okay,
I
yeah.
to say Albani, but that was
right?
a wrestling word from back in the day. Yeah. But no, this is the Lou.
The Lou Albani.
First podcast appearance of all time.
Of all
breaking
time,
his internet cherry?
Broke his podcast cherry. He's a great local comedian, very talented director, videographer, editor. If you're a real one and you've been watching our sketches as well, he directs and edits all of those. And
soon to be in front of the camera as well. I mean, this guy, nothing Lou can't do.
There's nothing Lou can't do.
And a mustache that demands respect.
Oh yeah, wait till you get a load of this mustache.
Oh yeah.
But while we got you here, why don't you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, 5-star review.
On this thing, don't mean to cut you off there. If you could leave a comment and tell me if I look like a fat guy on this couch, because I feel like a fat guy on this couch. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, we might, we might get some different chairs. We might do a different look because Johnny's self-conscious. The one thing that I'm not gonna do, go for a jog.
Yeah, yeah. So sure, weigh in on that in the comment section. We'll get a Google poll.
Yeah, tell me how dirty my pants are. I just finished work. Look at these things. Honestly, it just looks like just bust loads all over this thing. But that's just plumber's glue. But you know what I mean? That's just
yeah, I'm not sure if they can see your pants.
I'm gonna paint you up like my work pants.
Yeah. Ooh.
That was
nice.
Hey.
But follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, follow us on TikTok, all that stuff. You know what to do. If you haven't done it already, then what are you waiting for?
And if you're my mom and you haven't turned this episode off by now, then whoa.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This episode gets a little hello.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's a fun one. As per usual, we're comedians. The things that we say on here, we usually don't mean.
Did we have to say that? We've never mentioned that. If you haven't figured that out yet, then yeah. And on that same note as well, if you want to come and see us live every Tuesday in Kits at King's Head Pub, you can come and witness. I don't know.
Yeah, watch us do stand up. We have the ticket link in the caption. What's it called? Description
below.
Yeah, ticket link below. All that good stuff. And sorry, we've been a little bit behind the last few weeks. It's been a lot of moving stuff, but we're
back now.
We'll be on time next week, we promise. And without further ado, enjoy Monsieur Lou.
Fuck was that?
Support for Show Me Yours podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels.
Don't I know it?
Manscaped recently launched the Ultimate Hygiene Bundle for the man in your life. That's a performance package. All right, help him join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, flashers. That's 20% off and free worldwide shipping when you use the code SHOWMEYOURS at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million clean-shaved balls we're talking about
That's
here.
incredible.
Right? You never want to get yourself into a sticky situation when you go down on a fella and you're faced with just a face full of hairy balls,
Don't I know it? Absolutely. And if you're going down there and you already find a sticky situation plus hairy balls, then
Exactly.
what kind of person are you dealing with?
Yeah.
Dealing with somebody that deals with Manscaped. You're not going to have that.
Exactly. The Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped has arrived, and obsessed is an understatement. Inside this package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner. They both smell fantastic.
They do.
And the Performance Boxer Briefs, so comfy. And a travel bag to hold his goodies, or yours if you steal it. This Lawnmower 4.0, it's the future of grooming. And dare I say, the greatest ball trimmer ever?
I've used a lot of them. And you know what I mean? To the point where like some of them just don't even have the power to really get through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The dense brush that I'm dealing with, right? They just gets clogged up and then it just kind of grinds to a halt. That is the worst. Sometimes there's ones that just have a little bit like too much razzle dazzle going on. Everything here is utilitarian. You need it. You use it.
Exactly.
And you put it away and it looks good.
Yeah, and ladies, it's so good. I'm thinking of getting one for myself. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. It's waterproof and also has a 400K LED spotlight for a more precise shave. So say goodbye to his hairy mess on the bathroom floor and sink. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts in their performance package, the boxers and the shed travel bag. These boxers are so comfy, ladies.
I started wearing them to bed.
I know.
Cute.
They're super comfortable. Yeah, not just for him. And bring his comfort and boxers to another level. It's time to take care of the man you love. So go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code SHOWMEYOURS. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code SHOWMEYOURS at manscaped.com. Unlock his confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Shave your balls. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, but in a new location. This is very exciting. It's a little bit more cozy, a little bit more intimate environment. Today we are joined by a very good friend of ours. I mean, one of the most lovely men in the city, one of the most talented individuals that I know. Very funny, a very funny fellow, but I mean, he directs. He also edits. He does. What don't you do? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Lou Albani.
Thank you.
In the house.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
That's what I do, man. Do you realize the intro is like the most important part? You know what I mean? There's somebody listening right now deciding like, fuck this podcast.
Yeah.
But not anymore.
A director and an editor.
Yeah.
Hey, editor, I don't know, yeah.
You edited our shit.
I mean,
I think you're a pretty good editor.
Yeah, I can chop. This is my first time. I'm sorry.
Give yourself a little credit, Lou. It's about promoting yourself.
I'm a genius. Yeah, and I just haven't been discovered yet. But once that happens, oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, technically, we discovered you. So
That's
You can credit us.
Yeah.
For any success you may have.
Get a little bit of that Manscaped money, maybe.
Yeah. You're a pretty good-looking sponsor for Manscaped.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like you've been scaping a little bit yourself here.
Yeah.
When did you decide to bring the handlebar mustache back?
Well, a few weeks ago, there was a few Patriots making their way to Ottawa, and I just wanted to stand in solidarity.
Nice,
This is a podcast Fauci doesn't want you to hear.
That's fucking right, baby. I was actually saying that to Jackie the other day. Is that like I love like the news, but I love I like good news or like shit that kind of like that interests me or whatever. Right now, basically everything is like hate-based, clickbait kind of shit like that. And without Trump, now everything is like Joe Rogan's a bad guy. Like I don't care about what a comedian has to say about anything, but you should care about what we have to say.
I mean,
but you know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But like everybody needs like the media needs a bad guy.
Yeah,
you know
I'm trying to fill that void. It seems like a easy thing to do for a while.
Yeah,
and then,
you're rocking the villain.
Oh, I changed. Cut this part off. And Yeah.
There is something something to be said about a change like that, because something so drastic, you know what I mean? Like when you come back with, that's a statement piece.
Yeah. Because I feel like usually, like when you first posted the photo, I thought that you were just like having fun when you were shaving.
I
but
was. Yeah. And then I said, you know what? Just more fun. It's really, I like to just change everything every once in a while, just go through a little metamorphosis.
Are people treating you a
You're
little
like
bit
a beautiful butterfly.
Yeah, are you getting treated a little differently, like around like playgrounds, schools, things like that? Or?
Yeah. People are like, hey, you want to hang out with my kid? And I'm
sure.
Like, no.
Good answer. Yeah. Good answer. This is gonna live on the internet forever.
Yeah, kids
forever. Yeah, you don't
want
to. And yours is ugly. So.
This is gonna look really weird for the Woody Allen documentary or whatever that's gonna follow in like 30 years or whatever. Like he was trying to cover his tracks the whole time.
Why did they have so many kids? If he said kids were dumb.
Yeah, we'll be like, I swear to God, there's no way we could have known.
It's classic misdirection. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually, that's another thing too about like the news or whatever, but like even like documentaries and stuff, like we were very excited to move into the new place. We got some cable and some internet and all that kind of stuff popping off. Came with the HBO package. We're like, finally we get to watch all these documentaries that have come out.
Yeah.
It's just rape.
It's all like rape documentaries.
It's like I like a good murder doc. I like a music doc. You know what I mean? I like tell me about, you know what I mean, like the better times like that. But no, it just turns out that
we've taken away creeps. Woody Allen definitely did it.
Yep.
MJ, pretty sure he's innocent.
Pretty sure.
Jordan? What did he do?
Jordan had his father killed. Definitely guilty.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
I don't know. I think his murder was like a result of the gambling debts or something like that. I don't think Jordan put a hit out on his dad, but unfortunately,
who knows?
That's how it transpired.
Who's to say?
But Michael Jackson, the Michael Jackson documentary was basically just bullshit. Like an account of one guy and his mom, and there's nobody else in the documentary. And when you're only hearing one side of the story,
any of the stories, it's all just like this family story. And I think we stopped after like 45 minutes into the first episode.
Yeah, right before it got good.
I think like the second episode, there's like a second family, but from what I gather, these are the same two families that have been like accusing him for over a decade and have been like disproven and like taken to court and like had their cases thrown out and all this shit. And there's like no one there corroborating these stories, where like we watched the Woody Allen one right before, and it's like overwhelming the amount of evidence
every time. Like I feel bad because when we watch documentaries, I'm always like leaning towards the side of innocence, right? Like I always want to believe that the person probably didn't do it, you know what I mean? Because I just don't want to see, you know what I mean, a fellow man caged, right? Or woman or anything like that, you know what I mean? For that matter, you're just like, well, hopefully this is all just a misunderstanding. But I mean, even me, like I walked away from that one.
When she was like fucking 9 years old, like on tape, like describing like what he did, like right after it happened, it's like, woof.
You really start to see like how big of a piece of shit you are, because I'm looking over at Jax, be like, I mean, I don't even think she was coached to say that. You're like, fuck, do I feel bad? I'm inclined, like, I just want to be a defense attorney or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I want to, let's get to the bottom. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? If somebody's like a real piece of shit, it doesn't matter if he wrote, When Harry Met Sally. It doesn't. Nothing really.
I don't think he wrote When Harry Met Sally.
No, that was
he made it, wasn't
he? Yeah. Oh. That was what's her name? Nora Ephron. Efron.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, fuck me then. All right.
Woody Allen. He did
that other what's it called?
Saving Private Ryan, right?
Annie Hall, yes.
Annie Hall, yeah.
Either way,
Private Ryan.
I'm
classic Woody Allen.
I mean, on the surface, what do you think about like a fall from grace? You know what I mean? Like for somebody like that, like highly regarded, especially like you're a film guy, right? So was Woody ever like was there ever? Do you ever hold anybody like at a high enough regard that you're gonna lose your opinion on them or their art based on what the news says later?
I don't know. It's like I just love separating the art from the artist. It just makes enjoying the art so much easier.
In 2002, you got to.
You
got to. Yeah.
And I try not to dig too deep into people's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Paul Thomas Anderson. He's done good movies.
Mm-hmm.
he's married to someone famous, I think. And,
Yeah.
you know, that's all I care to know.
Cool,
Yeah. If you dig deep enough, you're gonna find something you don't like about anyone.
Yeah.
PTA's out there touching and diddling?
Hey, whoa, no.
Oh, okay, all right.
No.
You heard it here
Whoa,
first.
whoa.
No.
Show me yours
He's
exclusive.
a good guy.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't. But
It took him 13 years to
Yeah.
make a movie about a boy. That's just like waiting for legal aid. Nah, never mind. We don't have to speculate. We don't have to speculate with PTA.
Yeah. But that's like what's like so annoying about our like culture now is that like any little thing people just want
Any
to
little
cancel
thing.
them.
Yeah.
And it's like, who the fuck cares? Like fucking the shit with Joe Rogan right now, and it's just like taking all of like the times that he said the N-word.
Yeah.
Just like taking it out of context, you know, and making like a fucking reel.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, it looks bad. But like he's a fucking comedian with a podcast. He's not like a news anchor.
Yeah, totally.
Like-
You're gonna run out of things to say eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to say all the words, and then you're like, once you hit all, then there's that one, and you're like, well, you know.
We're talking about thousands of episodes, thousands of hours of conversation. I mean, it comes out like, I mean, yeah, imagine somebody had put together the same type of video for every time you've said the N-word.
Yeah, that would.
Be a short
Like,
video for me.
Why are these people taking videos of me as a 13-year-old
Yeah.
in my hockey locker
right.
room? You know.
That's fair. Dude, I was
I
like,
said it under duress, okay?
Yeah, why
They
is
were like,
everyone...
say it, and I was like, oh. Okay.
Who videotaped every conversation that me and my little brother had?
well, you guys just outed yourselves. I mean, I've personally, I've been fighting for freedom for for a long time now, standing up for equal rights, and you know what I mean. That's just something that you're never going to catch me slipping on.
Yeah,
Sure.
being a freedom
Run the
fighter is a
tape.
lot different these days now, though, right?
Yeah, you can't even be a freedom fighter.
That
now.
makes you a fascist.
Yeah.
You see,
I
that's
actually thought you were going
That's the
somewhere
crazy
with
part about it. Like, I always like. I mean, standing up against what you perceive to be tyranny and fascism is now like you are the fascist for standing up to the government that you perceive to be tyrannical. It just seems kind of silly. Like it's a mix of words. You know what I mean? I think in the spirit of standing up for your rights and saying what the fuck that like you've believed to be true. Why are they racist? What's going on over there? Do you watch the news enough to understand what's going on in this trucker convoy?
Not like I don't know. I'm pretty like apolitical, and that's kind of like a shitty thing to be as well, But it's just like
No, I think if you write jokes, I think it's the best thing to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you want to put yourself like if you go too hard to one side of the fence, then you're not going to be able to make fun of them on that side, right? Like I think you want to be in the middle.
I think everyone is in terms of like having a conversation and just like the way you are around people, you should be like apolitical. Like you can have your own opinions, but like unless you're in like a political debate or if someone asks you specifically, then like fucking keep it to yourself.
It's like, have you guys ever tried to change somebody?
Oh God,
No.
No.
But, like, yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah,
Right?
no.
Yeah.
Ever try to like change yourself significantly?
Oh,
That
wow.
also doesn't like for someone else.
For sure.
It's like,
For sure.
You can't just
Yeah.
yell at someone and be like, change.
Exactly.
I've definitely,
it just makes people dig their heels in deeper.
Yeah.
I've been apologized to for being for somebody trying to change me. You know what I mean? Like after that relationship didn't work out, like years after you get a little bit of once like the 9th step of AA starts to roll around, they start to apologize for all that crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like that. One of those things was the the once you can accept the fact that you probably knew this relationship wasn't going to work out, but you're going to do everything that you can to try to, fit that person into a box. And obviously when it blew up, it blew up. So, I mean, yeah, definitely. It was cool, like, as like an adult to kind of like see that from the inside, but you don't really realize what's happening because those little, if you're starting to do it for somebody else, then like I'm going to fuck up. I'm going to end up running into the night or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, don't change. Just stay.
Yeah, that's the moral of the story.
And don't care what other people do,
Yeah.
I think that's the big
Just do
thing.
you.
Yeah, because like it's just on the phone, right? Like it's just on the phone. None of that shit like affects my life at all, right?
Yeah.
But then like 3-4 times I got to take a shit a day. Here I am glancing back at the news, right? And it's just bullshit that wants me to click on it. It seems to be negativity.
It's a lot of negativity.
My news feed is all like fucking Kardashians. Fucking last night I realized I had been on my phone for like 20 minutes or whatever, and then I like looked up and I was like way behind on what we were watching, and then I looked down and realized that I'd gone down a rabbit hole about Khloe Kardashian's hands and how they look like chicken feet. And I read multiple articles about it.
It's like, yeah. It's like journalism, I think, used to have like some integrity. I think. I'm not 100% sure. People tell me it used to have integrity.
Yeah. That was kind of the idea. But I mean, it's just it's gone into a completely different thing, right? Like now it's like journalism before, I think it's like a newspaper. Like this is nobody's ever gonna know this information unless we kind of put it out there, right? And then if something had to be retracted, there was like there was a process to doing that. Nowadays, like if somebody like puts up a bad article about somebody, then there's really no process or like ramifications that the journalist is going to have, right? Like the news organization will just move past it, right? But that, you know, even like especially when you're falsely accusing somebody, like it's gonna damage that fucking career. Like, and then people write like other hit pieces. I think Aziz Ansari was like a really good like example of that, because you're like, fuck man, this guy's gonna take a long time to climb out of that. And then you read the article and you're like, sounds like he was a pretty good guy.
Yeah, it was like
paid for a cab home.
Yeah, like one girl felt awkward, and as soon as she told him she wanted to leave, he called her a cab, and it was just like this one girl, and because of that one fucking article. Like, and it was at the time that all like the Me Too shit was happening, and he just got lumped into the same thing. I was like, pretty sure like he comes out as the good guy in this story.
Yeah.
Like he fucking called her a cab home.
Yeah. Like I've felt awkward on pretty much every date that I've ever been on.
You feel awkward right now, I can tell.
Yeah. I'm just, it's just how I feel most of the time. And
your resting state.
Yeah.
So I relate to that.
You know, maybe I'll write a piece about you guys, and
hey,
like, they made me feel weird.
Could you imagine a hit piece about me and Jackie? What would it say?
These two perverts.
Great start.
Yeah,
they've propositioned me so many times.
I mean, you actually would have like a lot of source material to draw on for you of all people.
You know, I would say,
Jackie
like,
tends to get naked every time that you come over, which is weird. I've never been
I don't
naked.
try to get naked. I do.
I tell you
Well,
to
it's
get
gonna be
naked. I'm like,
Right,
take your
Lou
pants off,
instructs
man.
me
But it's always like amicable, and I think you know, like mostly comfortable, right? So I think like, what is it basically going to take to, you know, like lure you into a dark room, or is it more of an alley situation? Do we have to find you in the wild?
I don't know. Yeah, just like get me good. Like maybe get me when I'm really down.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because we've been trying to
That's
get
kind of
you
all the time.
off the wagon for a bit here. Do we have to get you liquored?
You might have to get me liquored. I was a lot more of a slut when I was drinking.
What? Yeah. What was the shift from booze to no booze for you? And when did that happen?
It was about 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was taking this acting class on Saturday mornings, and every week we would like do a scene and film it, and then review it in front of the class the next week. And I was just hungover every Saturday morning. And I was looking like shit.
Yeah.
And then also acting like shit. I mean, I was a new actor, so how would I know the difference? But
Wouldn't know. We're naturals.
Jesus Christ.
yeah, but it's just like you're in this room full of like working professional actors, and then there's you, and you're just like your teacher's tearing you apart on camera or in front of the class while you look at yourself, and you're like, that's gross.
You showed up just like kind of bloated and shitty, slow, not didn't know the lines, not doing the work.
Didn't know the lines, just lazy, couldn't emote at all.
Fair enough.
You know, I was like, maybe it's the booze has something to do with it. I also would black out a lot. I started drinking probably when I was 14.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
you know, I got like a solid 10 years of drinking.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Yep.
Did a whole bunch. Woke up in places I wasn't sure
Got
where
the
I
stories,
was.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just like it's like maybe I'll just take 10 years off, focus on try to being like better at things and stuff. And then, yeah, it's been almost 5 years now.
Shit, talk about change, huh?
Yeah, that's a big
so you're almost
change.
at the halfway point.
Mm.
You're just taking 10 years off. So rather than the 10-year mark, are you gonna like fucking blow it out?
Yeah, you know, hopefully I'll be a bit more mature by that point. I think that was like my original thing. I was like, I can't handle this right now.
If you take 10 years off and then just go back to just like beer bonging 12 beers straight or just drinking like an asshole. You know what I mean? It'd be like a.
That'd be, I might. Yeah.
It'd be weird to go back to just like a fucking cooler full of jungle juice and like
Just
get
fucking
naked.
getting wild. Yeah.
I could see you as like a classy drinker with like
I would like
a Scotch
that.
guy or
Scotch.
something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say.
I've been craving whiskey for the last few weeks.
Oh, you came to the right place.
It's been like, oh man, yeah, it'd be nice to have just a big glass of that. Yeah, it was always a drinking to get drunk. That was the only point of drinking for me.
Yeah.
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 But still fucking party, do drugs.
Let's do fucking party.
That's still fun, right, guys? Like you've never known me as a drinker, so.
No, but
Yeah,
we've
no,
never
you're
also
still-
known you as a drip either, right? Like you've always been fun to hang out with and stuff.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
you know, it never really defines it never really defines person. I feel kind of like weird sometimes. Like we're kind of performing a lot, so we're always at shows, and the only time that I really get to see any of you guys is when we're out, and when we're out, I'm always drinking. So like I've known people now for probably like like a few years of my life, and they've only ever seen me with a drink in my hand.
Yeah.
Which is I fuck them. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, but it is something that kind of in the back of your head or whatever, right? Like especially if you're doing like multiple shows in a night, then like the first one I do Stone Cold Sober, then kind of like ramps up. You know what I mean? You just kind of find the groove or whatever. But yeah, it's interesting to think of like what other people might think of you. You can't think of life like that. But if that was the case, I'm sure they're like, oh, we probably like Jonny either needs help or he's too far gone.
No, but it's like you definitely come across as someone who has like a handle on it. Like you enjoy it, but you're not. Like,
I don't think we're ever like rowdy at shows.
No, I
Like,
try
we're
not to stumble
usually
around and do
drinking.
exactly. I think.
Yeah.
But that being said, like it's weird because my family is I have family members that are heavily into like the programs and stuff like that, sobriety and then levels of that kind of like exist throughout. So there's people in my family that got it together. There's people in my family that think they have it together. You know what I mean, right? That's kind of the way that it goes. But then even now doing comedy, it's like crazy to see how many people are either going sober now or just kind of like sober by choice and stuff like that. It's a weird time to kind of get in. Like I should have started doing comedy when I was 23, and then we could at least got a chance to party with some of these guys. But
It is like funny in like at least in like Vancouver, I feel like most of the comics are either like drinkers or they don't drink at all. Like there isn't like a lot of people who are like, oh, I'll have like one drink every now and again.
Yeah.
It's like usually either people who like drink a lot or they don't drink at all.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's like a comedy thing or if maybe it's just a Vancouver thing.
Right. Yeah.
That like it's just so expensive to drink.
That's true.
That's part of
Oh,
where
fair
I'm
enough.
like, saving a lot of money. But
Yeah, fuck, and everyone always talks about that. They're like, yeah, I can only like afford to buy. We were just talking at our show at King's Head last week. We were with Jake Spencer, and he was like, yeah, I can only afford to support a handful of so many venues a week.
because Jake's a broke ass bitch.
Yeah,
No,
and then it was like,
sorry, I
it was
just love
so
you, Jake.
funny, but it's like I never think about that, even though like I'm like broke too. I'm never like, well, I can't drink. I'm like,
But
no,
you have
I'm
like dual
going
income,
to,
and like
yeah.
I think that's something that I never really take advantage of. 'Cause I have a pretty good job, and like families, like there's a small family. My dad told me one time, I'm like broke. He's like, what the fuck is matter? You small families thrive on your income, and that's just a quote that I love. It's a fucking cool bunch of words together. But then you kind of start to realize, and it's like, oh, okay, like I could have like paid off debts and done everything like that. But like what I don't do is like think about what the bill costs if I'm at dinner or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I make enough money that like that's okay. And I mean, that's probably like the best thing. So I don't really realize how like frivolously I probably throw fives and tens around.
Yeah.
I think that might be the thing too. Maybe. Now that's another thing too. Is I always thought that like if once you're getting into comedy, anybody that's a little bit like further ahead than you is like older than you. Do you know what I mean? And like that thing, and then you here for 2 years, and you're like get to know these people, and you're like, oh wait a minute, that's a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like some real young guys.
Oh yeah.
And some,
Totally.
like real young, so like younger than me, and so
Totally.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a pool out here. There's a pool of good, and there's a lot of fucking dorks out there too,
oh,
right?
Dude,
so we're
many
just
fucking nerds.
oh man,
So many fucking losers.
dude,
out
we're
there.
just wading through the
Name
mud.
them.
Baby. Name them. Here we go. You know who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I've been loving the drama in the scene lately, dude.
Yeah, what's your
Oh,
favorite part?
man.
Oh, I don't know if I should name
Specifically.
names.
I know. We're gonna talk about it after that. That's the best part of this
Yeah.
podcast is
Yeah.
after the mics turn off and shit. Then we'll get into it. But like it is funny because like with me and Jax, we stay like so out of it, and we're such like a insular unit. So
Yeah.
like none of the bullshit will ever kind of like affect us, but we just kind of see it all and kind of comment. Like I look at us like the best in show announcers, we're just like looking at all these dorks, just like, like commenting. But it is great to see, and it's a lot of it is kind of understandable. Like jealousy is like really fucking easy to come across when you feel like you've been working hard and you're not getting it fucking, you know what I mean, half as much. And then when you're, you know, when you get somebody that's feeling comfortable enough to say fuck this person, you're like, oh yeah.
And it feels like a lot of people will fucking open up to us for no reason. And we just like are always like we'll like play the field, and so we'll be like, you know, supporting them and like kind of take their side.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they leave, we'll like say what we really think about it.
Fucking nerds, man. Where'd these
It's funny 'cause,
losers
like,
come from?
Well, it's weird because it's hard. You'll never get like a true lay of the land. You basically just have everybody's account of what happened, right? So
Yeah.
you know what I mean. At the end of the day, you know, you just kind of sit around and, you know, hope somebody walks through the door. Like if the show is kind of, you know, if the show is kind of iffy or whatever, be like, I'm sitting there in the back of my head sometimes thinking like, if this person walked through the door right now, the entire fucking vibe of the night would change. You know what I mean? And then if it does happen, it's funny,
Totally,
right?
Yeah.
Because like I try not to get like, you know, as invested into it. I know like we spend a lot of time doing it and we're, you know, kind of like always there. But if you can't fucking laugh at it, then what the fuck are we doing, right? Because
Yeah, man.
there's so much of it that I get pissed off about too. But at the end of the day, like you just like you can't take it that seriously.
Yeah.
We're fucking Canadian entertainers, to say
Exactly,
like
Yeah.
you know, but
yeah, Vancouver comedians.
exactly.
And it's crazy the amount of drama within like the Vancouver comedy community. Where
Oh,
it's like,
it's so much
it's like
drama.
people take themselves so fucking seriously. It's just like this weird like insular group that like there's so much infighting and stuff. And it's like, do you
Fuck
realize
yeah.
no one gives a fuck?
Like
take
yeah,
a
like
step
we're all
back.
fighting for spots
Yeah.
that nobody, like we can't even fill the rooms to these
Yeah.
shows and shit.
Like you watch like a lineup and then you'll see like, oh, this person like hates the headliner. This person is hated by everyone else. And it's like everyone in the audience has no fucking idea.
And you see like a poster for a show, and you're like, that person's headlining.
Yeah. Oh,
Get
my
the fuck out of
God.
here.
Yeah,
Who is in charge of this?
Oh yeah.
And you're
Fuck,
like, those
there
are all just open micers.
Exactly.
Fuck,
They're
there
gonna
was
charge
one,
money for this?
Totally.
There was one last week. Oh well, I'll tell you after. But like there was one last week, and like or I think it actually might even be for next week. But there was one poster that we saw, and I was like, who the fuck made this person the headliner? Like whoever is booking the show has no idea what the fuck they're doing, because this is not a headliner. This person like should barely even be booked on any show.
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating. I think a lot of the times, like, I mean, they might either be like booking themselves on that thing, or like, you know what I mean, just like sucking just a fucking like
Yeah.
the best blowjob in the world to get on that thing. Like, how does it either one way or another? You know what I mean? Like, it's happening. All we can do is like try to put on the, you know, the best shows that we can or whatever, have some fun, and you know, and try to stay out of it. But my God, it's so difficult when every time you look on like your social media, you're like, this is what, instead of writing jokes, this is what you fucks do.
Oh God, yeah, the fucking forum.
Yeah.
And like I will spend like hours on the forum just scrolling through.
It's
Just like
fascinating.
I hate being
Yeah.
involved in drama, but I love watching it unfold.
Just from a safe
Oh
distance,
my
you
God,
know?
yeah.
Yeah. I'm with that.
Passive aggressive comment liker, you know what I mean? It's
Exactly,
good stuff.
reacting
Yeah.
to comments and stuff.
But you know what I mean? Enough negativity aside, I think like we're definitely gonna chop
Yeah.
that one up and put it out to the world, like let them know what we think about them. But
So-
Fucking losers in this shit.
Yeah.
Quit.
You fucking
Quit.
queers.
Just stop it. You're never gonna make it.
Exactly.
well, I thought we all Darcy Boone Collins said
Listen
we're
to
all
this
gonna make
guy.
it. he said every single one of us are gonna
The
make it.
lone positive comment come out of his mouth surrounding comedy.
Just dripping in sarcasm.
Oh, absolutely. That might be the funniest
Has
thing
he
I've
ever
ever heard.
said anything genuine? Other than like scathing insults.
Oh man.
Are we gonna keep? Are we? Let's.
Yeah, we didn't just come here to talk about pedophiles and Vancouver comedy.
No. We are a music podcast, Lou. I don't know
Yeah.
if you knew that, but now that we're
No.
because now that we've you know we've ascended, we've gotten to the point
Mm-hmm.
where it would be shitty of me to not at least mention. Sometimes we don't even mention an album, but this one is important. It's important to me. It's
And
important
me.
to the world.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
sure it's important to you, Lou. You brought it in.
Yeah.
Presumably. So.
I mean,
Me
yeah,
so
it's
confused.
this is the classic, okay? This is the Clash, London Calling, third album, 1979 December release in or CBS Records, I believe, in Europe, Epic Records in 1980 in America.
Yeah.
One of the greatest albums of all time. Fucking number 8 on Rolling Stone's Top 500. I mean, what really can I say about this? That I'm not going to say anything more. Why did you bring it in? Where did you
Yeah.
start with it? Tell me about the Clash, Lou.
Oh man, yeah. So this is the album I've probably listened to more than anything. I
Mhm.
think that's why I brought it in. Yeah, I think it just hit me at that perfect time in my life where I was like 13.
Yep.
You know, all the hormones
Mm-hmm.
and that
Mm-hmm.
and that anger and
Hell yeah.
but also, you know, it's not just anger, it's fucking silliness.
Well, I think
Totally.
like that's like
So
the best
fun.
part about this, like defining like my life. I think like based on music was was the huge thing about my childhood, and then when you find like punk rock and you're like, oh okay, like I'm gonna fall into this category, like this is
Yeah.
the shit, and then it's a really big umbrella from like ska over to like hardcore and stuff, and then you can kind of see that I wouldn't like classify this as like the most punk rock record of all time.
Nah.
But lyrically and in like the essence of it and what they're talking about,
Mhm.
it is you know what I mean, right? Like
Yeah.
if you know, if you stack, depending on how you stack it up or whatever, right? Like it could be a sound or an aesthetic and like a way of life or whatever. So like when this one kind of opened the eyes to like somebody told me once when I was a kid, if it isn't punk, it sucks. And I was like, that's a cool thing to say. And then I did, but then you hear like all the other like musical influences and stuff on this album, and you start to realize like, oh wait a minute, like, you know what I mean? Like there's a reason why like psychobilly is like basically just like punk rock rockabilly, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like ska being like a you know like an offshoot like, you know, punk rock reggae and stuff like that or whatever, right? And that's kind of like encapsulates all of that shit perfectly.
Yeah, man. It casts a wide net,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and
Mhm.
it catches a lot of goodness, and then, you know, I think it just has like that kind of like broad appeal to people too.
Yeah, it's
you
super
know?
Absolutely.
accessible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
For sure. I will say, you know, it's like I'm not a super big punk guy,
Totally,
you
yeah.
know, like not a lot of other bands I can name bands, but you know,
Of course, yeah.
yeah, it was like it's
Yeah.
the only band that matters to me,
Fuck.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
but-
course. Yeah.
Well done.
It's like when, but yeah, it hit me at like 13, 14. It's just like it explains so much of life to you, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
like gives you a way to kind of look at things
Mhm.
differently.
Yeah, I
Totally,
think it's funny because you get like the global view that things aren't all right, because at that time at 13 I'm in a small town and like things aren't all right, but that's just like, you know, that's just locally. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously like my life, my family, blah blah blah, like the world. I mean 9/11 had just happened, so there's like a bunch of crazy shit, right? Kind of even discovering like comedy and like Jon Stewart and all that kind of stuff at the time. South Park and everything is like a scathing indictment, you know what I mean? You could fucking throw shots back then and people
Yeah.
wouldn't fucking you know what I mean, right? It was a good time. And then when you're seeing like shots thrown like musically, you know, at stuff that like culturally now, because I'm like now I'm into like history because of the shit that they were talking about. You need to understand the world at the time to understand, you know what I mean, what they were talking about, right?
Yeah,
Like people
dude.
are worried about like what, London's gonna fucking flood. We're like, yeah, that was a
Yeah.
real concern.
man.
And they live by the river, dude.
yeah, man.
Okay, we watched fucking this morning. We were watching all these like little like kind of mini documentaries on it.
Oh, there's a bunch.
And
Check
then-
out
Oh,
YouTube
yeah.
and just the
Yeah,
London Calling
and then
documentaries. There's a bunch of cool
YouTube
shit.
just like played this one that's like these two people listening to London Calling for the first time.
Oh, they were a black
it's just,
couple. That
like,
was so awesome.
Yeah,
It was so
it's
rad.
like a
Yeah.
guy and a girl with headphones on, and the girl was like grooving out to it, and the guy the whole time was just like,
I think he was like looking at the lyrics, like really kind
Yeah.
of getting into it, like.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
then so
awesome.
funny, yeah. When like every time the girl kept pausing it, being like, "I'm imagining myself like on a London train in a trench coat, and it's about to rain."
Yeah, everything that she said was like, yeah, it was very environment and fashion based.
Yeah, she was like, "But I'm wearing sunglasses. It's not sunny out."
Gotta
I'm
have sunglasses
wearing
with a trench
them."
coat, apparently. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was cool. She had cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I like about like, I just love how they sound British. You know,
Mhm.
it just feels
Mhm.
like British. It's just like
Yeah.
a lot of British bands to me don't seem that British because they throw on the American accent. When
Totally.
They sing. It's
Yeah, I think like
Them
weird
fucking
early punk
Beatles
like with the
stink,
Clash.
dude.
Yeah, but like the early Clash and like the Sex Pistols and stuff like that are so like of that thing, like I am an anarchist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That whole
Yeah.
thing, and I think yeah, it's cool. Like Billy Idol's on the screen here right now, and I think like maybe him like did you ever hear like Generation X, like his first like early stuff? And I think anytime like the Who or like I might be speaking out of turn, but like any like British rock or whatever really did have that feel. Even like like Led Zeppelin or something like that didn't
Mhm.
sound like. I mean, well, they were covering like blues songs from America and stuff like that too.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's just rude.
You
Time to
too?
take my birth control.
I smoke weed a lot during the day, so that's like usually a nap. Like so, at 6 o'clock we both have alarms on our phones. Hers is to take birth control, which I totally support. Mine is because I'm probably like stoned and I went to sleep and we have a show to do or something like that. So I just have a 6 o'clock alarm just to like be awake.
That's why you're giving me a hard time when I said I'd be late.
Yeah, so I mean,
I
yeah, but
wasn't sleeping.
anytime you get the opportunity to say what you hit the snooze button, Cheech, then you say that. But yeah, that was it. This is an interesting interruption. But I think
sounding British.
oh well, well that's the thing. Like there's something like so cool, like from a Canadian perspective too, right? Because like everything, a lot of Canadians are like super proud to be Canadian, but for me, like all the like music and art and everything that I love, and I grew up on the border, so basically 10 minutes away from my mom's house is like I'm closer to Spokane and Coeur d'Alene and shit than I am to like Kelowna from my hometown, right? So to me, it was always crazy being like, if I was born fucking 10 minutes down the road, I would have so much easier access to, even albums were priced like cheaper and shit. Like when like everything is a little bit more accessible. Bands would come through that area, maybe like Spokane. I always thought like, fuck, if I lived there, you know what I mean? I could be a part of like a bigger scene. Like I was always like a little bit too moving faster than I needed to, because I mean I found like my thing, and everything is cool now, right? It's just like the way that it worked out. But as a kid living in the woods and like only getting like a little bit, like it was just a fucking little taste, right? So American culture was always like the coolest thing, you know what I mean? Like rather than like Red Green, fucking like the Red Green show, Canadians were fucking like even caricatures of themselves, right?
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Other than like silly like Kids in the Hall was probably like the one thing that I identified with as Canadian, being like, fuck yeah, that's the shit. But as a kid, American kind of culture was the coolest thing. So it's always weird for like British acts and things, to kind of put on an accent to dress up, because once you see like like London is pretty fucking cool too, right? And for like bands to like embrace that thing and to be like singing about, you know what I mean, like all like their their problems, it's all the same. People's kind of like dealing with shit everywhere. So fucking weird that there's like an entire genre or like I guess like generations now of like singers and songwriters that are singing in a different accent than they speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
fucking that's weird. And I know that America's cool and shit, but at the end of the day, like fuck those guys kind of too.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's
Like-
like when they I think they might do American accents on the album, but it's like making fun of it, right?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
And maybe
Yeah.
more on Sandinista and like combat rock. But
Yeah. You'll get that. As a Clash, as a fan of the band, where do you stand on like other albums as far as London Calling? London Calling I think is the easiest like intro, but I have a very definitive favorite Clash album that's not London Calling.
Is it Sandinista?
Not at all.
Yeah, no.
Not a fuck. Get out of my
Like-
fucking house.
I got a buddy whose favorite album is Sandinista.
Really?
Clash, yeah, I'm like,
That's
it's
it's
like they do everything. Like,
Yeah, oh, yeah,
everything.
it's like a fucking 6 LP thing. I have it.
There are
it's
some really solid bangers, like some of my
Oh,
favorite
for sure,
Clash songs
for
are
sure.
on Sandinista.
Yep.
Like Charlie Don't Surf.
Mhm.
Yeah. Straight to Hell, but like.
Yep.
Yeah, I think London Calling probably for me is up there. I do like, say, London Calling, Combat Rock, Sandinista, and then
Wow.
everything
Oh,
else for me.
interesting.
Yeah.
For me, it's the first self-titled, like, I mean, hands down. But
Yeah.
that's like that's a punk rock, right? Like, I mean, just every like energy and all of that stuff was
Yeah.
the first time. And my my obsession with collecting, and the first time that I heard the Clash self-titled album, the first song on it is Clash City Rockers. And that's not the case. That's like there's a difference between an American and a UK release, and I didn't know what was going on. So I bought the album one time and I was like fucking stoked on it. And then I was going on a road trip, I think, or something like that. So there was like a gas station copy of just like the Clash, right? And I was like, fuck yeah, let's get that thing. $9.99 at the gas station. It's gonna be sick. And I threw it in there, and the first song is like, fuck, I'm not even sure exactly what it is, White Ride or something like that. But it's not like that album starts as a Clash City Rockers thing. So that began like an obsessive compulsive thing where I need to find like, you know, this particular copy of this particular album and then tell everybody about it. And now I'm just boring you guys with it. But this has been
Go on.
This has been like a fascination or whatever, like my life. But that's from that one, and then my I think my little sister, as she's grown up, and her kind of love for London Calling it's a thing even in my family. We all kind of come together, especially with my dad and my little sister Jen. She fucking loves this album, and her favorite songs like Lost in the Supermarket. And even to me when I'm listening, it's so funny that there's this band spans so much where it's not like like it's not AC/DC's fucking meat and potatoes. If your favorite AC/DC song probably sounds a lot like my favorite AC/DC song, because all of them kind of sound the same. So when you say that, you know what I mean, like Combat Rocket Sandinista or whatever, and my little sister to say Lost in the Supermarket's her favorite, like, you guys are fucked. But I'm like, no, that's all still good.
Well, I think it's like anything, and they do like a lot of like character studies in their songs, right? Like Lost in the Supermarket is just, from the point of view of like this one person instead of talking about themes and like, events.
Yeah.
And then like I think that's just good storytelling. That's
for sure.
Good storytelling is just good entertainment,
Well, I think it speaks to like the collaborative effort of the band too, is that it's not just Joe Strummer's thing, it's not just, you know what I mean, so like they all kind of like come together. Even Guns of Brixton is like written by the bass player here. We were watching these things, it's like his first crack at songwriting, and it's like that's your first fucking crack at songwriting, because the Guns of Brixton is like one of my favorite songs on the album, but it's cool that they, you know what I mean, they could all come together in a collaborative effort and shit like that, right? And then and really be able to span, I think when they were like, another thing, we did just these little kind of like tidbits or whatever that we kind of picked up this morning doing the research, and they had said that this is after like a year of writer's block. After Give 'Em Enough Rope comes out, they're going in for a third album, and they haven't written a song in like a year. So they kick everybody out of the studio, and they just start fucking around with all different types of music and stuff. So there's not one person in there that's gonna, that's not in the band that could like influence the sound or whatever, right? So it's like everybody needs to fuck off, and we're gonna try some shit, and you know what I mean. And then this comes out is pretty epic. I think there's, I mean, I can't name too many else. Like, I mean, there's a million great albums up there, but
yeah, man, fucking rules.
Did we just bang it out? Is that?
Sure. Like it's just a front to back bangers. There's no song on that album that I cannot just like not sing along with.
I thought it was funny too when we were watching all the shit this morning. Like every single one mentioned how Train in Vain wasn't on like the original sleeve or whatever, because they had printed it before they had finished this song. And like all of these, like how everyone thought it was because they were embarrassed of the song and they didn't like want it on the track listing.
Sounds just kind of like hateful if you come like at the back. There's poppy songs on this. It's not the only poppy song on this album, but it's hilarious for people to think like,
they're embarrassed. They don't want it on the track listing. It's like, that's one of the most popular
Why
songs.
would they put it on the album?
Well, exactly.
Why would they finish the album with that song?
Like they printed it. They're like, we'll still put it on though.
We'll put it on, but we won't put it on the track listing.
That's sometimes you just got to create your own narrative, man. Like it's up to you. You got to get in front of that thing. That's so fucking ridiculous. Because I wonder if that would have been like one of the, or like how long secret songs were, or how popular they were.
Yeah.
Because like in the days of CDs and shit, that was like pretty common on like hip hop stuff, and like new metal in the early 2000s. A lot of albums kind of wait that 3 minutes or whatever. Some 41 had a bunch of them and shit too. Like I mean, you just. You wait and it's back there, but I didn't like. I mean, you can't necessarily do that on a record. Like if you're gonna look at it and you're gonna see the grooves are scratched in there, right? There's gonna be another song coming here.
Automatically plays.
It's gonna keep playing.
And
it's like one of like it was like an instant hit. It's like one of the most popular.
I think at the time, they said it was like their highest charting like Billboard song or something like that, like 24 or some shit, which is fucking. It's impressive, but it's like but that song with like, I don't know, like fucking like Guns of Brixton and Brand New Cadillac. If you say like those three songs are all on the same album, like Cool.
Yeah.
You know, like to the point where I think, you know, like finding those, I digging your fucking heels in the sand, and I remember like arguing on school playgrounds, like, you know what I mean? No, this is the best band. You know, this is the like only band that matters. Do you have any wild sorry, I just like keep looking at the I have the Spotify playlist here going in the background.
Turn
I'm
it
just thinking
off.
of like the New York Dolls. No, fucking we should
Okay.
keep it. We should
Okay.
keep it. Because it's going. But do you like, where were you? Like, did you kind of like discover it? Like, did you find the album yourself like firsthand? Were you Napster downloading kid, or did you have like a parent's copy that you're picking up? Like, how did you get into tunes when you were a youngster?
Yeah.
LimeWire?
I originally had a Discman.
There, yeah, oh yeah,
Discman.
But it wasn't on that. It was MP3s with The Clash.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think the first CDs I bought were Beastie Boys, License to Ill.
It's not a bad one.
obviously,
Mhm.
And NWA, The Strength of Street Knowledge.
No shit. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not the most popular NWA album, but ooh, she bang.
Yeah. Yeah, and but yeah, I think with The Clash, it was my friend Sage was a big influence on me.
Mhm.
He's got a lot of hits. He likes a lot of weird things that I
Shout out
Mhm.
Sage.
Sage.
Yeah, shout out Sage.
Nice.
Yeah, I think he might have brought I think we definitely shared that love of The
Yeah.
Clash. You know,
Mhm.
he was definitely more aesthetically a punk rock dude.
Mhm, mhm.
Right.
He had a mohawk, and yeah,
He's on the
So-
team. Let him in.
Yeah. Where did you grow up again?
Fort St. John.
Fort St. John.
That's oof. So like
Okay.
you're far from the border at that point.
Yeah.
Like you're in the
Oh,
middle
yeah.
of nowhere. How do you find like your thing? Because Fort St. John, you don't strike me as I worked up in Fort St. John for a while, right? There's a lot of big jacked up trucks. There's a lot of pregnant girls. There's a lot of a lot of like a vibe there that I don't see you kind of like fitting into.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, now, motherfucker, you can shave a mustache into your face, but that doesn't mean you can turn a wrench.
I like stroking the chin where there's no hair.
Yeah, exactly. You're a fucking tourist in tough guy town. With that
yeah,
fucking
I'm trying to fool all these city slickers. You know? Like, yeah, I fight people.
Yeah, no. I like like, can you fix a car? Do you just kick the tire and say, well, that's your problem right there?
Yeah, like I rebuilt my motorcycle engine last year
Oh, he's
what?
got a hair on his ball, ladies and gentlemen.
with under the direction of my friend who was a mechanic who was mostly doing, and I was just helping.
Hey,
you know.
fair enough.
Still.
That I was
good.
there.
That's,
Yeah.
you know, that's
Sure.
super
You were
tough.
present?
I'm sorry, but I just always assume
Do you
like
have a motorcycle
you know.
license?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, who am I?
You're
I'm
riding
over
around
here
town.
fucking
Yeah.
okay. So it's like the film kind of artsy
no,
fella. I thought that, you know, sorry, I misjudged.
It's like I have an interest in that thing. Like I used to, like I've done concrete forming and finishing. Like I worked as an X-ray guy on the pipelines.
Bro.
I've done a lot of like, just like random construction stuff, but I never like truly enjoyed it.
Oh,
you know?
totally. Yeah,
Yeah,
me
it
too.
doesn't
Yeah.
get that total
Mhm.
fulfillment out of it.
Dude,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you fire up a boiler in the basement and you're on the 29th floor and it gets hot, water gets hot in like 5 seconds, that'll get you fucking hard. But other than that,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, but it's like I never got into like an actual trade and been like, oh yeah, this is
Yeah.
sweet that I understand everything that's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know.
And so what made you decide to, did you go straight from there to Vancouver or did you go
Yeah.
elsewhere?
Yeah, it was 10 years ago actually.
Oh, shit.
Young boy of 18, almost 19.
There you go. And did you
Mhm.
come down here to pursue your passions, or did you
I
come
didn't
down
know
here
what
with
I-
a?
just to get out of Fort St.
Yeah, fuck
John.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I moved down here. I was like, didn't want to be there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Knew that for a while. My brother was living here, and my half sister as well. So
Mhm.
it was like just the obvious thing.
There you go. Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, I came down and like I've been back a couple of times to like pay off debt or
Oh, for sure.
Right.
you know,
Got to pay the guy.
yeah,
Mhm.
gotta pay the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, you know, it's just Vancouver seemed easy enough,
Right.
and then you know.
So then, where
got
did you
to again.
find? When did you start doing like film? That's kind of like where we kind of like, I mean, other than comedy or whatever, but like
Yeah.
once we kind of like got down, like you have a feel in the room like you've done it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really haven't.
Fake it till you
just
make
have
it,
that
motherfucker.
confidence
Yeah.
about you.
Well,
yeah,
you know, the
yeah.
first thing I
Shit, we
did-
invited you on our podcast. We thought you'd done stuff.
Like the first thing
I've
I
been
did
taking off my clothes in front of you for nothing.
for nothing. Yeah.
A straight face, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you do it. If you were ever wondering just how to get Jackie naked, you come in here.
You don't ask. Just wait for me to suggest it.
That's actually accurate.
They always do. Yeah, no, so I started acting, like doing the pursuing acting thing first of all. And then I was like, this is weird. But I do want to get back into it now. Like, I feel like I'm kind of at a more balanced place where I can... Yeah. But, yeah, started acting. It was real rough on the old psyche.
See, we got some ideas for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, can I pitch you one right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine we're detectives, but we're also real estate agents, but we're also mechanics, and we've just got way too much shit going on in our lives, and we're moving way too fast. John Hooker, TJ Blow, we're Hooker and Blow.
Okay.
Fuck.
Detective...
I didn't land.
Okay.
I just like the idea of us just being like completely coked out and like running around, but like you can't have you ever been on cocaine, Lou?
My mom's gonna watch this. So
No. Good. Absolutely. Well, I've never been on it either, but what
Read the mustache.
Yeah, what I read the mustache. Jesus Christ. Man with a fucking mustache like that. He just breathes fresh air and finds cocaine, doesn't he? I always find that people just always have too much going on. You ever have a guy like try to pitch you a business opportunity when you're at a bar at 3 a.m. or something like that? You know what I mean? That's what cocaine will do to you. So I feel like just detectives and also real estate agents and things like that. You know what I mean? I just love the idea of just like a detective duo, like a buddy comedy, like called Hooker and Blow.
Yeah.
Because it's
we
dumb.
we have other stuff too.
We have better stuff, but I just thought of that the other day, and I was like, Lou's gonna love this, but yeah.
Yeah, we have so
Swing and a miss. Don't be afraid to pitch stuff, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, yeah, no.
Now that
it's not a no.
Yeah. Let's work on it.
Yeah, we're gonna massage it.
Yeah, find me a good suit. And I'm there, baby.
Oh, let me tell you about this noodle suit I'm gonna make for Jonny.
Okay.
We don't want to be giving away all our best stuff, because that's gonna be the first one that we shoot. Yeah, that one's actually coming out in a couple months.
But yeah, we have a bunch now that we're moved and everything too. We have time to start doing more sketches and stuff. We have a sick web series. Have we told you about the web series we want to do? Oh man,
should we fucking make some dinner and shit and fucking? We're almost at the hour here. Like, I mean, we could.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up and then we'll get into the
fucking give all our best ideas away to these assholes. If anybody's still listening. Lou's mom. Tell me about Lou's mom.
My mom?
Yeah.
Yeah, she just moved to town last year.
Oh, good on you. Oh, nice. Yeah, you told me.
Her and the old man split up probably around 3-4 years ago.
Fucking about time.
Yeah. Yeah, they were together for like, I don't know, 30 years.
It's a good run.
Same with my parents.
Good run. Nice.
Yeah. Adults of divorce.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, you got to get a divorce done when you're like 2 years old.
It's
like
adult children of divorce.
Yeah, you guys didn't do it right. Like, I got 2 Christmases the whole time. You know what I mean? I got to like kind of go to a different city and fuck around in like the summer and the winter. It was nice. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if your parents out there and you're thinking of staying together for the kids, look at how much fun I'm having and look at their past 2 years. Lou has a handlebar mustache now.
I'm finding myself. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Jackie moved in with me. Hey. Worse mistakes have been made. Worse things have also happened to better people, right? So I'm not going to sit here and say, one way or the other. Yeah. But we are going to land the plane here, I think. So, Lou, tell me and the people where they can find you.
Oh, man. Open mics around town usually. That's Vancouver. I shouldn't give out my address.
That'd be awesome.
Social media?
Social media, yeah. I'm on the Instagram at lou.albani. That's ALBNI.
Oh, we'll
scroll down, motherfucker. You'll find it.
I spelled that wrong. I'm pretty high.
ALBNI?
There's another A in there.
It's also kind of hard to find. Like, I've looked for you, and it's been hard to find.
Yeah, I'm shadow banned for my opinions.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. That's all. Well, it's
also, if you're hardcore Show Me Yours fans and you've watched our sketches, which we haven't posted on our YouTube yet, so you probably haven't been able to find.
So Lou posted them on his page, and I didn't know how to get them over there.
Yeah, but Lou directs
you kind of handle all that
the
stuff.
sketches that we've that we've done.
That's true.
So
Also, whynotlou.com is my website.
Oh yeah, check that out. Yeah, there'll be a link down there.
That will lead to everything else.
There you
about
go.
me.
Yeah, if you want to get in touch with somebody that'll take care of you, make your dick look like real cool on camera.
Yeah, I'm desperate for rent money, so I'll do almost anything. Hit me up, whynotlou.com.
Hell
He's
yeah.
a great videographer.
That's true.
Mhm.
Videographer.
If you're
I'll
a
shoot
comedian
your.
and you're watching this, he'll shoot your sketch.
Hell yeah.
Shoot your
Will you do
sketch.
weddings
Or
and
your-
like
shoot
births
your
and
sketch.
stuff like that?
I'll
Yeah,
do
yeah.
births, no weddings,
Okay.
divorces. I'll do that.
Dude, that would be awesome.
That would be
If you're an
hilarious.
aspiring
funeral.
OnlyFans model, hit me up. I am not weird.
Lou.
Despite
Don't let the mustache fool you.
everything about me.
We're actually
You've
honestly.
come to the right place.
Yeah.
Lou.
Yeah.
This is the other reason we brought you here.
Jackie's the eyes
Nice.
running out pretty quick, and we need somebody. I mean, it's nice. The best thing about living, you know what I mean, with your significant other, with your partner in the city, is that there's 2 incomes coming in,
Yeah.
and
Gotta make money somehow.
if it's
So-
if my lower part of my torso and penis could be a part of that in any way possible, then I'm open to it.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Also, if you're a professional pornography model, hit me up and
There
we
you
can
go.
do
That
a
would be dope too,
collab. Yeah.
Collab.
Yeah, I'm willing to do almost anything. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. This has been it's my first podcast ever. So
Dude,
thank
you did
for
great.
having
This is
me.
a lot of fun.
We're
Yeah.
honored to pop your
I
cherry.
feel like
Hey.
the start was kind of rough, but I smoked that pot and I got a little bit more comfortable. And,
Oh no, it hasn't been rough at all.
No,
Okay.
I think
Smooth
it's been
sailing
good.
all the way through.
Jesus Christ,
We've
we had Pang on here. Come on.
Yeah, I was gonna
Just,
say we have
just,
had much more awkward guests. than you.
Yeah,
You
I hope
didn't
my
come across
accent isn't too weird.
No, your accent is fine. You brought a great album on, my friend, and I just called to say I love you.
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
and you were our first guest in the new space.
Hell yeah.
So
Fauci's a liar. Thanks, everybody.